Have you ever found yourself wondering how much time you might have left after turning 70? It's a question that crosses many of our minds. Because after a certain age, every year feels more meaningful, every day more precious. The truth is, your body is already giving you signs, small, subtle signals that can actually predict how long you'll live. These are not guesses, and they're certainly not myths. They're based on real scientific research and observations from people who've lived long, healthy, independent lives well into their 80s and 90s. In today's video, we're going to explore 7 key signs that can give you powerful insight into your own health and longevity. More importantly, you'll learn what you can start doing right now to improve these areas and potentially add more healthy years to your life. Whether it's the way you walk, how you sleep, or how connected you are to others, each one of these signs offers a window into your future and an opportunity to take control of it. So if you're over 70 or even approaching that milestone, this isn't just a video about aging. It's a guide for living longer, better, and with more confidence. Let's get started. Number 1, walking speed, the pace of life. Let me ask you something simple. How fast do you walk these days? Is your stride steady and confident, or has it gotten slower, more careful, maybe even a little shaky? You might be surprised to learn that your walking speed after the age of 70 is one of the strongest indicators of how long you'll live. And no, this isn't just a fun fact. It's been backed by multiple scientific studies that link brisk, steady walking to longer lifespans and a higher quality of life. Why does this matter? Because walking isn't just about getting from point A to point B. It's a reflection of your heart health, your muscle strength, your balance, your brain function, even your emotional energy. In short, it's one of the most accurate ways your body tells the world, "I'm still strong." Let me tell you about someone I met a few years ago. His name's Tom. He's 83 now, and every morning he's out the door at 7 a.m., walking the neighborhood with his old dog, Max, rain or shine. His stride is smooth, shoulders back, head high. People half his age can't keep up with him. Tom says it's his daily promise to himself, to keep moving forward. Now contrast that with someone like George. Also in his 80s, George used to be active, but over time, walking became something he avoided. A few steps would leave him winded. He started using the elevator more, sitting longer, and avoiding stairs altogether. That gradual slowdown? It wasn't just age catching up. It was a sign his body was beginning to lose strength and resilience. Here's the good news. You can improve your walking speed at any age. Start by moving more throughout your day. Walk around the house during commercials, take a few laps around the block after dinner, stretch your legs every hour. Every little bit helps. Add in some gentle strength and balance exercises, and you'll be amazed how quickly your body responds. Your walking pace tells a story, and if you listen closely, it may just be telling you how many vibrant, active years you have left. So pay attention. Walk like your future depends on it, because in many ways it does. Number 2, grip strength, the power in your hands. Let's talk about something we rarely think about, your grip. That simple squeeze of your hand says more about your health than you might expect. Doctors and researchers have found a strong connection between grip strength and how long people live after 70. In fact, grip strength is considered one of the most reliable markers of overall health in older adults. It's not just about opening jars or carrying groceries. It reflects muscle mass, circulation, nerve function, and your body's ability to stay strong and independent. Let me introduce you to Robert. He's 78 and still does his own yard work. Every week he carries heavy bags of mulch, prunes his rose bushes, and tightens bolts on his garden shed. When I shook his hand, it felt like steel, but not in an uncomfortable way. Just solid, steady, alive. That handshake told me everything I needed to know. Robert's body was still working with him, not against him. Now think of someone like Walter, also in his late 70s. Once a handyman, now he struggles to open water bottles. He's dropped mugs, fumbled with doorknobs, and at first he laughed it off. "I'm just getting older," he said. But the truth is that weakening grip was a sign of something more serious: muscle loss, declining coordination, and a risk of future falls. Losing grip strength doesn't happen overnight, but it starts silently, and if left unaddressed, it can lead to frailty and loss of independence. The good news is, like your legs or your lungs, your hands can be trained. Here's what you can do. Start squeezing a tennis ball while watching TV. Try light dumbbell curls, or hold onto a towel and twist it like you're wringing out water. Even simple tasks like folding laundry, scrubbing a pan, or pulling weeds help engage those crucial muscles. And don't underestimate the power of regular household chores: vacuuming, lifting pots, opening cans. These aren't just chores. They're workouts in disguise. So here's the takeaway. If you want to hold on to your independence quite literally, start with your grip. Because the strength in your hands is a mirror of the strength in your whole body, and your future might just depend on how well you can hold on. Number 3, balance. Standing strong through the years. Here's a quick challenge for you. Stand up right now, lift one foot off the ground, and count to 10. Can you do it without wobbling or reaching for something to hold on to? It seems like a simple test, but your ability to stay balanced on one leg is actually a powerful indicator of your overall health and longevity. Researchers have found that people over 70 who can't balance for at least 10 seconds have a much higher risk of falls, injuries, and even shorter life expectancy. Why? Because balance is about more than just your legs. It involves your core muscles, your nervous system, your eyesight, and even your brain's ability to process movement and spatial awareness. When your balance begins to slip, it's often a sign that other systems in your body are weakening too. Let me tell you about Carol and Nancy, 2 women I met through a local community fitness program. Carol is 74 and practices gentle yoga 3 times a week. When she stands on one leg, she barely sways. She says it helps her feel centered and sharp. Nancy, also 74, admitted she hadn't thought about balance in years. But when she tried the one-leg test, she immediately stumbled and grabbed the wall. "I guess I didn't realize how shaky I've gotten," she said, almost embarrassed. But there's no shame in it. Balance is something we all start to lose with age. The key is noticing the change and doing something about it before it becomes dangerous. Here's the thing. Falling is one of the biggest threats to your independence as you age. A single bad fall can lead to broken bones, hospital stays, and long recoveries that are hard to bounce back from. And yet, improving balance doesn't take hours in a gym. It just takes a few small daily habits. Try standing on one foot while brushing your teeth. Practice walking heel to toe along a hallway, or do slow, controlled steps in your backyard or living room. Activities like Tai Chi and yoga are especially helpful, not just for physical balance, but mental clarity too. And don't forget, your environment matters. Remove tripping hazards, wear proper footwear, and keep your home well lit. The bottom line? Balance is your foundation. When it's strong, everything else becomes easier. Walking, standing, even thinking clearly. So don't wait until you fall to work on it. Start now and give your body the steady support it deserves. Number 4, sleep, your body's natural repair system. Let me ask you this. How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? Energized and clear-headed? Or groggy, achy, and already counting down to your next nap? Sleep is one of the most underrated pillars of long life, especially after 70. While we often focus on diet and exercise, the truth is, sleep may be the most powerful healing force your body has. And when it starts to go off track, everything else, your mood, memory, energy, even your immune system can suffer. You see, during deep sleep, your body does something incredible. It repairs damaged cells, rebalances hormones, and even cleans out toxins from your brain that can lead to Alzheimer's. In fact, studies have shown that people over 70 who get high-quality sleep live longer, think more clearly, and are far less likely to suffer from chronic illnesses. Now let me share 2 different stories. Henry, 76, keeps a strict bedtime routine. He turns off the TV at 9, reads a few pages of a novel, and gets a solid 7 hours each night. He says sleep is his daily reset button, and it shows. He's alert, calm, and full of energy every morning. Then there's Bill, also in his 70s, who sleeps with the TV on, scrolls his phone in bed, and often wakes up 2 or 3 times a night. His energy is low, his memory's slipping, and he started noticing more aches and brain fog. What he doesn't realize is that poor sleep isn't just a side effect of aging. It's a warning sign that his body isn't getting the recovery time it desperately needs. But here's the hopeful part. Better sleep is within reach. You don't have to overhaul your life. Small changes can lead to big improvements. Start by going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Dim the lights an hour before bedtime to help your brain produce melatonin. Avoid caffeine and alcohol late in the day. And turn off screens at least 30 minutes before you sleep. They trick your brain into thinking it's still daylight. Make your bedroom a place your body associates with rest. Cool, quiet, and dark is best. You'd be amazed how much better you'll feel when your sleep starts working with you, not against you. Because sleep isn't just a pause button. It's your body's most important repair system. And when you give it what it needs, it gives you back years of clarity, strength, and vitality. Number 5, appetite, the silent signal of strength. When was the last time you really looked forward to a meal? Not just ate out of habit, but truly felt hungry and excited to eat. Most people don't think much about appetite in their later years. But losing your interest in food or suddenly eating less than usual is one of the most overlooked signs that something deeper may be going on with your health. Here's why this matters. After the age of 70, your appetite can become a kind of messenger. A healthy appetite means your metabolism, digestion, and nutrient absorption are all working in harmony. It often reflects emotional well-being, too. But when that appetite fades, it can signal serious issues like malnutrition, muscle loss, weakened immunity, or even the early stages of conditions like depression or cognitive decline. Let me tell you about 2 women I met, Margaret and Susan, both in their mid-70s. Margaret loves cooking. She still prepares balanced meals with colorful vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. She eats slowly, enjoys her food, and never skips meals. Her energy is steady. Her mood is strong. She's sharp and fully engaged with life. Susan, on the other hand, told me food just doesn't taste right anymore. She snacks on crackers or skips dinner altogether. At first, she thought it wasn't a big deal, just a part of aging. But gradually, she began to lose weight, feel weaker, and catch colds more often. Her energy dropped. She stopped going out. And without realizing it, that small shift in appetite had started to pull her health down, like a slow-moving undertow. Here's what I want you to take from this. Your body needs fuel, not just calories, but real nutrition. When you're not eating enough or not eating the right kinds of food, it shows up in your strength, your stamina, your mood, and your ability to bounce back from illness. So what can you do? Make meals more enjoyable again. Eat with someone. Turn off the TV. Light a candle. Use smaller plates and serve yourself food that's colorful, warm, and comforting. Add healthy fats, like olive oil or avocado, for taste and nourishment. If your sense of taste has changed, try adding herbs and spices to bring meals to life again. And don't forget to stay hydrated. Sometimes what feels like a lost appetite is actually dehydration in disguise. If you've noticed you're eating less than you used to, don't ignore it. Pay attention. Talk to your doctor if you've lost weight without trying. Because appetite isn't just about eating. It's about staying strong, staying sharp, and staying connected to the life you're still meant to live. Number 6, stress. The hidden enemy of aging. You've probably heard people say, "Don't stress, it'll make you sick." Turns out, they're not wrong. Especially after the age of 70, how you handle stress may be one of the most important predictors of how long and how well you'll live. Let's be honest, getting older doesn't mean life gets easier. Health scares, financial pressures, losing loved ones, loneliness, it all adds up. But the key difference isn't whether or not stress shows up. It's how you deal with it when it does. You see, chronic stress acts like a slow-burning fire inside your body. It raises your blood pressure, weakens your immune system, and speeds up inflammation, which scientists now know plays a role in nearly every major age-related disease, from heart problems to diabetes to Alzheimer's. Let me give you a real example. John, 76, is a retired firefighter. Life throws him curveballs like anyone else. Unexpected bills, medical issues, family drama, but he has a way of staying grounded. He walks every day, does breathing exercises, and keeps a journal where he writes down 3 things he's grateful for each night. He's no stranger to pain, but he refuses to let it take over his life. Now meet Richard. Same age, different approach. When things go wrong, he gets overwhelmed. He stews over problems he can't control, loses sleep, and shuts people out. The result? His energy is low, his blood pressure is high, and he's constantly tense, even when nothing's happening. And here's the truth. Your mindset in tough times doesn't just affect your mood, it shapes your health. Studies have shown that people who manage stress well age more slowly, heal faster, and live longer. So how can you do it? You don't need to become a monk or meditate for hours. Start small. Take 5 deep breaths when you feel tense. Go for a short walk when your mind feels cluttered. Laugh often. Yes, even watching a comedy counts. Stay connected to others. Talk things out with a friend, a family member, or someone you trust. Even a 5-minute conversation can shift your entire day. Journaling, prayer, gardening, listening to music, whatever helps you find calm, make it part of your daily routine. Because managing stress isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for aging well. You deserve peace. You've earned it. So don't let stress steal one more day from your life. Number 7, social connection, the lifeline of longevity. If there's one thing that surprises people the most when it comes to aging well, it's this. The strength of your social connections may be just as important, if not more, than your diet, your exercise, or even your genetics. That's right. Study after study has shown that people over 70 who maintain close friendships, stay in touch with family, or regularly engage with their community live longer, healthier, and more fulfilling lives. On the flip side, loneliness has been linked to higher risks of heart disease, stroke, depression, and even early death. Why is that? Because we're wired for connection. Real human connection lowers stress hormones, boosts your immune system, and literally protects your heart, both emotionally and physically. Let me tell you about Eleanor and Barbara, 2 women I met at a senior center a few years back. Eleanor is 78. She's part of a local book club, volunteers every Thursday, and FaceTimes her grandkids weekly. She says, "Having people to care about gives me a reason to get up every morning." Barbara, also 78, lost her husband a few years ago and slowly stopped reaching out to friends. She told me she didn't want to be a burden to her children, so she just stopped calling. Days went by in silence, then weeks. She said, "It's strange how quickly you can start to feel invisible." And she's not alone. Too many older adults suffer in silence, thinking it's just part of aging. But here's the truth. It doesn't have to be. Staying connected can start with something as small as picking up the phone, send a message, join a group, share a meal, volunteer, or just strike up a conversation at the grocery store. You never know what kind of joy you might bring, not just to others, but to yourself. Remember this, meaningful connection doesn't have to be loud or crowded. Even one close relationship can make a world of difference. It's not about how many people you know, it's about having people you trust, who see you and who care. So if you've been feeling isolated, or even if your world has gotten a little quieter lately, take this as your sign. Reach out. Because connection is more than comfort, it's medicine. It keeps you mentally sharp, emotionally strong, and physically healthier for years to come. And your story? It's not done yet. there's still time to laugh, to love, to share, and to connect. So now you've heard the 7 signs, 7 quiet messages your body and mind are sending you about how you're really aging. Maybe it was your walking speed that made you pause. Maybe it was your grip, your sleep, your stress, or maybe the reminder that human connection still matters more than anything. Whichever one spoke to you most, I want you to remember this. None of these signs are judgments. They are opportunities. Every one of them is something you can strengthen, even now, especially now, because growing older isn't about fading away. It's about growing wiser, becoming more intentional, and focusing on the things that truly matter: your health, your relationships, your peace of mind. If you're still here with me, I want to say thank you, not just for watching, but for choosing to care about your future. That choice, to listen, to reflect, and to act, that's what makes the biggest difference. So here's what I'd love for you to do. Choose one of the 7 signs and take just one small action today. Go for a walk, call an old friend, drink more water, try standing on one foot. Even the smallest step forward counts. And if you learned something valuable in this video, leave a comment and tell me. What's your next step toward a stronger, longer life? Because the truth is, your story is still being written. And the chapters ahead, they can be full of strength, clarity, purpose, and joy, if you choose to write them that way. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this video meant something to you, please consider sharing it with someone you care about. You never know, it might just change their life too. Until next time, take care of yourself. You're worth it.